digital 90s, a guiding light. Tiberius with the hackers inside. Streaming live on Cyber Mentoring Monday. Teaching the novices, leading the way. He's a cyber mentor, hacking through the storm with auto recon. He's transforming the norm for the OSCP. He's the key. Tiberius, the legend we all wanna be. With each line of code, he breaks the chains in the cyber war where he reigns. Privilege escalation, not one but two courses, empowering hackers with unstoppable forces. He's a cyber mentor in the virtual fight, lighting up the network, making the future bright. For the OSCP, he's the guy. With Tiberius, we're on the winning side. Hack the box, TryHackMe, he's on the trail. Hornswinger's weapon cannony, he never fails. Solving boxes, cracking codes with each tale. Tiberius, the hacker who will prevail. He's a cyber mentor, the hacker's dream. With auto recon, he's leading the supreme. For the OSCP, he's the flame. Tiberius, forever etched in the Hall of Fame. In the realm of fights, he's a hero we are playing. Tiberius, an ethical hacker with a name. Echoes in the cyberspace, loud and clear. For every aspiring hacker, he's the pioneer. He's a cyber mentor, spawning a digital key. With auto recon, his legacy's unique. Guiding through SCP, a beacon so bright. Tiberius, the hacker's light. In the cyber realm, he's the eternal flame. Carving past the glory in the hacking game.
Hello. Turn some music on, shall we? Here we go. Hello, chat.
New subscription
Welcome
received.
back. Oh, and a
Dispensing
subscription.
gratitude. Gratitude dispensed.
Jackson, thank you very much. 15 months. On a 15-month streak as well. Excellent. Thank you so much for the subscription. Very much appreciate it. Welcome, everybody, to Side Mentoring Monday. I am Tiberius, and yeah, we've got some stuff to talk about. A few things to talk about, actually, before we delve into any kind of hacking. But how's everybody's weekend? Let's start off with that. Where's your weekend good? We'll do a marble race. We'll do a marble race to start off. How does that sound? I see a bunch of people in chat. Everyone's still loving the music, which is all good. Made a bunch of money at a yard sale. Excellent. Nice talking to HarmCon. Thank you. Yeah, I think it went well. Had some good feedback on it. My weekend was alright. It was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was fine. Yesterday it all blew up, but anyway. So let's do a marble race to get stuff kicked off. Alright. You know what? We'll do a standard map. Screw it. Random. Yeah, this one. Oh yeah, I forget. Do I need to move my... I don't need to move this webcam, right. Exclamation point play if you want to join the marble race. This is only on Twitch. Unfortunately, limitation of the game. Most of my viewers are on Twitch. And Twitch is the best place to view these streams, as I always say. Anyway, 6-second countdown. Exclamation point play, that's all you need to type. The game is entirely deterministic. The only random thing is where you're positioned on the screen at the start. Other than that, it's all been decided basically before you even started. It's already been decided who is going to win. But we don't know yet, so we have to watch the entire thing play out. And that's what we will do. You have about 25 seconds left. Exclamation point play. AI picks the winner. No, not even AI. It's just the entire game is on a computer, so therefore it is 100% deterministic. All right. Here we go. Now, this level is interesting, because this level doesn't just have one hole, it has several holes. So I'm not sure if we're going to know who's going to be the first to find a hole. Bonzo has at least found... Oh no, hang on. Okay, there's... Alright. Cypher Enigma is a ghost. I think Bonzo might actually... Yes, Bonzo technically found the hole first. Well done. Agent 57, right in the lead, beating Cypher Enigma's ghost. Now, if you don't know how this works, this isn't a giveaway, technically. I did not specify this was a giveaway at the start of the race. However, if you beat a stream record, or you beat a world record, or if one of my mods wins, or if I win, then it becomes a giveaway. So Agent 57 right now, if they can keep their lead ahead of Cypher Enigma, they may... Oh, I was going to say, may well indeed win a voucher. However, this is going to be close. Look how close this is. Now the question is, can Agent 57 maintain this lead? It's all going to be down... Oh, I was going to say, it's all going to be down to this. Cypher Enigma, oh, with that blast right through. Unfortunately, Agent, not fast enough. But very, very close. All right. Yeah, I mean, Agent 57, far ahead of everybody. Jackson coming in second place. Wait away. But anyway, all right. Anybody stuck? Has anybody died yet? Yes, 2 people have died somehow. I'm not sure how that happened. Hexit and D-Blaze, both... Okay, actually, everybody's just stuck in this bit, including myself. Oh no. Oh, I think I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be destroyed by the flames. So the stream record was 1:43. Agent was only 3 seconds behind. Tough luck. But well done, anyway. Alright. Let's go back. Now this is this is a screen where I need to fix myself, so I need to move myself up a bit. Cool. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna double check chat because I've probably missed a lot of chat. Where's the cyber mentoring? Let's put it into practice too. Well, the cyber mentoring will happen shortly. It's my birthday on Thursday. Well, happy birthday ahead of time. We'll do a stream on Wednesday as well. So if you wanna get in that stream, that'd be cool. That's the Web App Wednesday stream. Say hello to me in Portuguese. We love you from Brazil. Say, okay. You'll forgive me if I don't immediately Google what that actually means. Okay? It's not that I don't... I mean, it is that I don't trust anything on the internet anymore. Let me... let me put this... let me put this into... Okay, it does actually mean I love you Brazilians. You've restored my faith in humanity a bit. Okay, I don't know how to say it, but... Amor voces brasileiros, maybe? If I bastardize that, I do apologize. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming into the stream. Yeah, I've never been to Brazil. I do want to go to Brazil at some point. Brazil is definitely on the list of countries that I do want to visit at some point. So, I've never actually been to a country in South America. I think I've been to a country on every other continent. I'm just thinking. I mean, I was born in Europe. I visited Asia. I visited Africa, and I visited technically Oceania. So yeah, I think South America is the only continent other than, you know, Antarctica, if you count that, that I haven't visited. Okay. You use WSL in Windows? I do not. I don't really use Windows subsystem Linux, to be honest. I have a okay, beep. I have a Kali Linux VM that I use. I've got what's it called? It's not Cygwin, but it's kind of similar. So it's like a bash shell in Windows that I kind of sometimes use. I don't really use the shell much in Windows. If I'm doing anything to do with the shell, it's just easier to boot up Kali, and I don't really see the point of having, you know, Windows subsystem Linux installed when I could just use a fully fledged Kali VM. So yeah, there you go. Congrats on your new job. Thank you so much. Yeah, I start on Thursday, so that should be fun. Looking forward to it. Okay, right. Let me. Alright. Let's figure this shit out. Actually, I logged in on Twitter. I think I'm logged in on Twitter anyway. No. Alright, so give me a sec. Alright. So, first things first. The official Defcon 32 Feet Feud survey is up. Feet Feud is a contest that I have run as part of Only Feet for the last 2 years at Defcon unofficially. So, back at Defcon 30, we hijacked a room, got kicked out by some goons because apparently a village was going in there, and we were gonna basically use the room while they were setting up the village, so obviously we couldn't do that. So we got kicked out by a goon, and then the goon took pity on us and then found us a room. Second year, we were we sort of organized this. It was like a semi-official thing. And we were technically, I think we were in the contest area, but it was like during the Defcon setup. And to be honest, it was good, but it was a real nightmare to just set up because we had a limited amount of time. Anyway, this year we're official. We're actually an official contest, which still is insane to me. So what is Feet Feud? If you've ever watched Family Feud, or in the UK it's called Family Fortunes, it's basically that, but cybersecurity themed. And the Feet thing is literally just because Only Feet, the hacking collective, hacking group, CTF, friends group, whatever you want to call us, right? We're just a bunch of cool people. We run it. That's it. That's the only reason it's called Feet Feud, because I thought it was funny when I made the name up like 3 years ago. So, yeah. It's not. It has nothing to do with feet fetishes, okay? It's purely cybersecurity themed. All right. There are some feet-based prizes, though. I will say that. But it's not a sexual thing. Anyway, so here's the thing. How this game works. Obviously, if you've ever watched Family Feud or Family Fortunes, there are survey questions, and you have to basically guess what the most popular answer to the survey was, right? So obviously, we need to actually collect survey questions or survey answers, and this is how we do it. So I will be spamming this thing. So if you go to my Twitter, the easiest way, I'll put the link in chat for people on Twitch and YouTube. But for everyone else, go to my Twitter. It should be a pinned tweet. So here's the most important thing: do not click this link if you actually want a chance at competing in the contest. All right, and there will be prizes. All right, so how it works is there's going to be 2 teams of 5. Now, one of the team members is going to be a team captain, and they're going to be a member of Only Feet. All right, so there's technically 4 slots on each team for quote-unquote civilians. Okay, if you want a place on that team, we are going to, I mean, we can't really stop you, but we're going to basically say, hey, please don't put your hand up and volunteer if you completed the survey. All right, because then you'll know at least the questions, which kind of gives you an advantage. All right, so if you want a chance, and it is a chance at competing, because I cannot guarantee, right, that you will be able to compete. I don't know how many people we're gonna get. All right, we may only get 10 people in the audience, at which point you have a pretty high chance of being selected. But we might get 100. I don't know. This is the first year we're official. Like, we're going to be on the schedule, so everybody is going to know. Everyone's going to look at the schedule, and they're going to see us, and they're going to know exactly where we are and what time. So I don't know how many people we're going to get. A lot of people are going to come thinking it's a fetish thing. A lot of people are going to come thinking, what the heck is feet feud? All right? So, I cannot guarantee you a place, but what I can say is if you complete the survey and you tell the truth on the day, you can't be a member. All right. Having said that, if you just want to come watch, if you're not going to Defcon, all right, if you just want to help us out, please click on the link, read the instructions, because honestly, they're very clear. But people still, every year, without fail, either put meme answers or put answers that are just wrong. Okay, it's a survey, so every question has multiple correct answers. That's kind of the point, right? Because there has to be multiple correct answers to each question for it to even work as a game. But please put actually correct answers in. And don't put meme answers or joke answers, because at the end of the day, I have to sort through these, and it really takes a while. I have got help this year, though. I've got 2 other people working with me to put on the best contest that we want to do. All right, but please take this seriously, even though it's completely non-serious contest. So anyway, that's the first thing I want to talk about. We could win a black badge? No. We are not we're not at the level of black badge yet, all right? Maybe next year. No, not next. Maybe in a few years. If this year's successful, this is the thing. We want this year to be really successful. We want people to be talking about it, because we want a chance. We want to be at the same level as Whose Slide Is It Anyway? All right? So we want to become a staple of Defcon. All right? That's what we're aiming for. A black sock. That is a... Okay. Damn it. Alright, hang on. I'm just gonna message the 2 people I'm working with. We should give out black socks for prize instead of black badges. Someone in chat just suggested that. Great idea. That is great. I love it. Thigh highs. Yes. Okay. Good. All right. You know what? Just for that, let's give you VIP. There we go. VIP of the channel. Welcome on board. All right, excellent. Love it. Okay, so that's really good. Okay. We will definitely have socks as prizes. All right, so the other thing to say. Right. This tweet exploded. I tweeted this literally yesterday at 11:30 a.m. It's almost got 1 million views. So yeah. Now you may be thinking this is a strange tweet to get 1 million views. Like it's just a Sankey diagram of how my recent foray into unemployment went in terms of job applications. It's just a graph. Why did it get so many views? So it turns out, and I'm completely oblivious, I guess I must have missed this. But apparently like 2 months ago, there was another Sankey diagram that someone in the adult industry made. About a gangbang. I don't know if I can even say this on Twitter. Anyway, so anyway, and there was a whole meme that was made apparently about fluffing. You can Google it. I'm not going to Google it because I'm on Twitch. But anyway, there was a whole meme about fluffing.
Thank you for following.
If you don't know what fluffing is, you'll just have to Google that as well. But anyway, so about 75 or possibly even more of the views literally came because look, even Swift on security knows what the fluffer thing is. All right, where's the fluffer? Hang on, there's way more. Surely you mean fluffer diagram. No fluffer. How often did you come in a fluffer? How many? Yeah, came in fluffer. This is the meme. I mean, I'll take it. This is going to be a good payday. I get paid for views on Twitter, so this is amazing for me. I don't know how much it's going to be, but it's probably it's probably going to be like $20 to be fair, but I'll take it. I will take money from Twitter for making for apparently unintentionally sort of making a meme or reigniting people's imagination. Rubius, don't say that. Don't leak parts of the questions. Why don't you Google what it means? God's sake, Rubius. You can Google what it means. You can Google what it means in terms of the question. I don't take care if you. Yes, you can't delete your own messages. Thank you. Anyway, you'll get it. All right, you'll understand when you Google that word plus security. Because the thing is, I couldn't. You're dyslexic. Okay, well, I didn't know that. Anyway, you should still Google it. That's the annoying thing. Like, I think it's a really good question, that one. And I couldn't. I can't put EG because if you put EG, there is a non-zero amount of people that are just going to put the word that I put after EG as an answer, which is really annoying. Because then I've technically manipulated the results. Right, these are supposed to be proper survey results. Anyway, I don't know why I clicked X. So, how to read this diagram? This is a Sankey diagram. I I've discovered Sankey diagrams like 2 or 3 years ago, and they're really cool because they're a flowchart, but they're really useful for sort of just. So they're a different kind of flowchart, right? They're a flowchart where you can have, generally speaking, you can have multiple different sort of entry points, although a lot of the time you only have one, and then you have lots of different sort of endpoints at various stages. And so the idea here is you read this, okay, so I applied to 17 different jobs. All right, and then I got no response from one. There were 3 where I backed out of the backed out before the initial interview happened. For various reasons, won't go into those, but then I had 13 initial interviews. So out of those, there was one which went quite far, and then the company decided to just hire more junior, which is kind of a weird decision. But there were 3 where basically I was very upfront about the salary expectations, and they were just like, can't do that, sorry. So I was like, okay, fine. There were 3 which originally said they had plenty of web app work, and then were like, well, actually, we need somebody who does web app and internal stuff. So I was like, okay, that's not me. There was one that just ran out of time. Like, so basically, all I mean here is that I'd already got offers by the time this one sort of came up. And so, yeah, they just ran out of time. Like this could have potentially gone over here if they'd have been quicker, but they weren't. So secondary interviews, I could have broken this down a little more, and I might at some point, but like secondary interviews, like some of these companies I interviewed at twice and then they offered me a job. Some of these companies I interviewed like 4 times and then they offered me a job. So this is what the secondary interviews things means, right? So there are between 1 and 3 secondary interviews depending on which company it was. One of those rejected me for no reason. Like they were literally just like, I think this, to be honest, I don't have any proof, but it might just be the salary thing. Like this was a company that asked me that like for what I wanted in terms of salary at like the very end of the process, which I regret because this interview had an entire CTF thing, which took a long time. It was really annoying, but yeah. So I don't know. They may have rejected me for other reasons. They didn't actually give a reason, and by the time they rejected me, I'd already accepted an offer, so I wasn't going to just message back and say nah, whatever. So I don't really care. And then I got 4 offers in total. They actually came in roughly at the same time. So I had offers on I think I had 3 offers on a Friday and then another offer on a Monday. And out of those 4 offers, I declined 2 for salary reasons. Basically, they offered too little. And that's not necessarily meaning they offered like below the salary expectations. Like I've been upfront about my salary expectations. All this means is basically, hey, this job and this job offered more money. All right, so basically, I declined these for salary reasons, mostly because these 2 offered more. This one, so it was down to this one and this one at the end, and they were basically very, very close in terms of total compensation. Very, very close in terms of benefits and stuff like that. So the only reason this one won out, this was NetSpy, by the way. The only reason NetSpy won out, there was a few reasons, but mostly the company culture, I think, came across a little better than this company down here. And also I knew like 3 people, no, 2, I think I knew 2 people who worked at this company. I actually now know a 3rd person. I just didn't realize they worked there at the time. So it's nice when you know people who work there and tell you, you know, yeah, this is a really good company. I really enjoy working here. So this was mostly a culture of fit sort of acceptance thing. So this was definitely a difficult decision. All right, it could have gone either way, but ultimately culture is so important sometimes, and that was really useful. All right, I made a graph like that 2 years ago about my journey. I linked it above. Okay, let me copy this link. Oops. Well, I didn't actually mean to. I guess I just pressed it. Okay. Yeah, so this is obviously very different, but This is White Cyberduck entering the industry, right? So here, this is the difference, right, between... This is, I presume, no year's experience, right? Like, how many years experience was this? Anyway, this is what... Well, I'm not even going to say this is what 12 years experience looks like. This isn't what 12 years experience is. This is a combination of 12 years experience and the fact that I have like 57,000 followers on Twitter, and on top of that, a very, very big professional network. Networking is so important, okay? Networking is huge. If you don't have the experience, networking is huge. If you have the experience, you generally would also have a big network. But if you have a huge network and you have a lot of experience, this is what interviewing looks like. Okay? A lot of people are surprised, like, oh, you applied to 17 and you got like 30 initial interviews? Like, that's quite good. It's not really. Like, it's not that surprising. I was applying to senior pen testing positions. I have 12 years experience as a pen tester. So it's weird that they wouldn't give me an interview. You know? And there were no companies that didn't give an interview. Like, I got no response here, which means either no response doesn't mean they sent back saying no, we're not interested. No response means I didn't actually hear anything from them. Like, I didn't even get like an email saying we received your application. I don't even know if my application went through properly. Like, I heard nothing. All right. These three were all in the they were in the like offering interview stage, so they basically had or were in the process of giving me an interview, and I backed out because I found out stuff about the company that I just didn't really gel with me that well. So I decided, nah, you know what? I don't really think I would work there very well. So yeah, I assume this is this makes total sense for like zero experience. And White Cyberduck's just disappeared. So I don't know. I assume this is what he meant. But yeah, 134 applications, no response to 76, 53 outright rejected, 5 interviews, 2 offers, 1 accepted. How long from application to accepting, declining your offers? So this entire process took like 2 months. However, I basically restarted like after a month. I'd gone through all the after I think the first month I applied to like maybe 10 and went through the interview process with a lot of them and got no results by the end. Like either it was no web app focused position, salary wasn't met, the company decided to hire more junior, etc. Then I basically found 7 more companies to apply to, did that in the second month, and that's where I started getting these offers. All right, so I held out. I could have accepted. I would have definitely got offers in month 1 if I had told them, yeah, I'll accept, 150,000. But I wasn't prepared to do that. So I knew I would get more if I just held out, so I held out. But this entire process took like, 2 months. But in terms of like I actually accepted offers, honestly, a couple of weeks, maybe 3, 2.5 to 3. For one of them, it was literally like a week and a half. So yeah. How do you not have enough web? I know, right? That's crazy. It's crazy. It's weird. It's more that, so that for some reason a lot of these companies don't like the idea of hiring a purely web app focused tester, which is bizarre to me. Like, we have an industry where we basically we celebrate people who get really, really good at one particular area, and then apparently we just don't want to hire these people. It's really bizarre. Like, this company wanted me to like specialize in something else as well as web apps, and I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would I want to do that? So you know, it was kind of weird, eye-opening almost. Whilst we're getting ghosted, how should I take it? Ghosted in what sense? Like, they shouldn't ghost you. If they should at least send an email saying, sorry, we don't want to continue. We don't think you're not what we're looking for. That's at least polite. They should be doing it. And I would send a follow-up email, but I'd only send one. I would send a follow-up email just, hey, I'm just checking in, are we still moving forward with the interview process? Or have you gone with somebody else? Be polite. If they the worst thing they can do is just not respond again. Just be polite. And if they don't respond at all, just mark them as, oh well, I guess that was it then. If they do respond, still be polite, right? Even if they say you're just not what we're looking for. Because ultimately that's the thing, right? You might apply to a company now and they might reject you because they don't think you're experienced enough. If you burn a bridge right there and then because you get annoyed or something, then in 5 years when you do have the experience, you can't really apply there. I mean, you can, but they might remember, so don't do that. Always be polite. Faking good hiring health for the sake of shareholders or whatnot. Yeah, potentially. Advice for junior cybersec to get a junior role. So, go on my YouTube. There's a great interview I did with Trash Puppy. She recently got an internship, a paid internship, working as a pen tester. Watch the whole interview. It's about an hour long. Really good. I'm currently editing a video with NahamSec on basically getting into cybersecurity with bug bounties. I have a few more interviews planned, but watch the YouTube channel. Networking is how I got my last 3 big interview processes. My first pen test deal. Nice. Yes, exactly. And let's talk about networking. What do I mean by networking? Mostly, I mean, so obviously there are a few things you can do. It's not like just getting a following on social media, all right? But networking can mean making connections like that, all right? But realistically, what you want to be doing is making personal connections with people. You can do that by going to conventions, and you don't even have to go to the big conventions, all right? Obviously, Defcon is amazing, and I'd always recommend people go to Defcon, but you can go to local conventions, all right? If there are local B-sides in your state, or in your country, or in your city, go to those. A lot of cities also have meetup groups, right? Go on meetup.com and search for cybersecurity or security or information security groups, all right? Because there'll be a lot of them that meet up every month or so. Go to those, talk to people, all right? The other thing that you can do is literally release. Get into scripting and release programs and stuff. Release tools that you've written for random things. Make write-ups. All right. So that's another way of doing it, because that way you'll get in touch with people who comment on your stuff. They may reach out. They may want to talk. Join cybersecurity Discord servers. All right. There are a bunch of Discord servers with a lot of people, and you can make really good connections on them. So it's really all about talking and making those connections with people, and then ultimately using those connections when you need them. My big tip for getting your first job in cybersecurity is make friends and yeah, exactly. There are companies, if they found out you have verified experience, let's say you have experience as a pen tester resume, and also something like sysadmin, they will ghost you from the beginning. But why though? I don't understand that. Why would they do that? Become a Twitch mod. Yes, become my Twitch mods. One day Tibbs will give me the power, maybe. If I need more Twitch mods at some point, I will definitely consider your reviews. I think right now we just don't. We honestly don't get many. We don't get many people in chat that need moderating. Were there any homework assignments or mock environments they tested you on, such as a mock report or one? Yes. So a few of these, not too many, which was good because I honestly don't like that. So there were a few that gave me a CTF. One of them gave me a CTF. It was like they gave me basically, I think they gave me 24 hours to do it and write a report of like the top 3 issues, which is fine. It was just really annoying, you know. There was another that got me to do a few challenges. NetSpy was interesting. NetSpy do a 3-hour CTF where you share your screen and basically you're on a call with a guy and he just watches you do it. So I think that's better because that shows more of the process and it's not too much of a waste of time. Like I hate the ones where they're like, oh, you know, you have 24 hours to do this and you have to write a full report and everything. It's like really annoying. I much prefer the way NetSpy did it. I don't necessarily think it's still that good of a process. But yeah. Take home work for C. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the other thing. It is kind of silly. Like at some point the experience on your resume, if you've got 12 years experience, and especially if you've worked for some of the companies that I have, that should tell you a lot. But there you go. What industries are recession resistant? I don't think any, technically. I think cybersecurity, though, it's one of those weird industries where, like, there's a lot of flack for, like, layoffs in the cybersecurity industry and the tech industry in general. But you got to remember that that's not really because the tech industry had, like, a bust period. It's purely because lots of big companies overhired. And I'm relatively certain they knew they were going to overhire because they let a bunch of people go and then they immediately turned around and started hiring juniors. Or at least not necessarily juniors, but they started hiring like people with 1 to 3 years experience to replace people they'd let go who had like 7. So that's the thing. Those kind of companies I don't like working for. That's why I kind of like working at smaller companies. NetSpy is a smallish company. I think it's like a medium-sized company. But if you look at the industry, like that's the thing. If the industry is being hurt by like recession, you should see people being let go across the board. But if you actually look at what happened, none of the small cybersecurity companies were letting people go. Actually, all the small cybersecurity companies were hiring. It was only the big companies that were letting people go because they overhired. And the small companies made out. The small companies actually went through a boom because they could hire because they hadn't overhired, right? And they were still profitable. And suddenly on the market there are a ton of people who have been fired, who are quite senior, who are looking for work. Where do you think those people went? So, yeah, if you were a small cybersecurity company, you could hire some really top level talent over the last year because a bunch of the bigger companies were idiots and overhired, and they didn't have to let people go. Let's make that clear. None of them had to. They just did because they, profit was more important than people. And in a lot of cases, these big companies, they went through a period where they laid people off, and then they immediately turned around like a month later and was like, oh, we need to hire people again. It's like, wow, you couldn't have just, maybe laid off a few less people. I don't know if it was panic or malicious, but it was bad either way. All right. So anyway, that's the thing I was going to talk about. What are we going to do today, chat? Shall we, perchance, see if there is Web Security Academy? Subject of AI taking over cybersec roles. What do you think about that? My opinions on AI are oh god, alright, let's find the tweet.
Agent
Wheel spin.
_57_ just redeemed wheel spin.
Alright, we'll do a wheel spin in a sec. Let me just find my tweet. Here we go. Alright, so there was, I don't know if you saw this last week, there was like a drop a pic with your age trend. So I figured, hey, it'd be funny if I do it for the actual Roman Emperor Tiberius, right? Because he's dead. And, but then I'm like, I don't know how old he'd be if he was alive still. Right? So, I'll ask AI. So ChatGPT and Copilot did fine. This is great. I asked Grok, which is the Twitter one, how old would the Roman Emperor Tiberius be if he were alive today? He would be 2,093 years old. This is just wrong. This is like completely wrong. Like utterly wrong. And then but it didn't tell me how it worked it out. So I asked it, hey, show me how you calculated that, right? Okay, so to calculate the age of Tiberius, he was born in 42 BC. I subtracted the year of his birth from the current year, 2024, to find the number of years that has passed since his birth. I then added 1 to the result because when we talk about age, we count the year of birth as the first year. Okay, fine. So 2024 minus 42 is 1,982. 1,982 plus 1 is 1983. So firstly, you've got a completely different answer. All right, so it originally said 2,093. Now it's 90. This is also wrong. Because funny thing about BC, right? It's before the year 0. The current year is counting from the year 0. This was before the year 0. So you don't subtract 42 from this number. In fact, you add 42. Like, literally, the correct answer is basically 42 plus this number. And then you can plus 1 if the dates match up. But, like, if they'd answered 2066, which I think is the correct answer, right? 2066 or 2067, both of those are acceptable. Both of those are acceptable answers, all right? Even if it worked out as 2066 and you say 2067, I would have accepted the first. This is Gemini, which is Google's. We all know how good Google's AI is from the search results. How old would Roman Emperor Tiberius be if he was still alive today? He was born in 42 BC and died in 37 AD. To calculate how old he would be today. Years lived in BC, 42. Years lived in AD, 37. Okay, we're looking positive. Total years lived is 79. Okay, again, that's good. All right. Current year is 2024. What? Why are we adding 2024 to 79? No! No! This is also not how you do this. So yeah. I am not scared of AI taking any of our jobs when it can't do basic math. It's kind of funny how bad computers are at doing math right now. This isn't AI. Let's get one thing clear. When they say AI, they're using it as a lovely buzzword because it's not AI. It's not even remotely close to intelligence. It's literally not. So, yeah. Don't call it AI. It's a large language model. It's basically fancy predictive text. It's very impressive fancy predictive text, but don't start calling it AI when it can't do basic logic. Ah. All right. Last stream, you told me you will ask the question if I got authentication web page. What is my methodology? Can you expand on what you mean on? So, do you mean like a login page? Are you talking about like how you would test the login process? Or are you testing like? Are you talking about something else? Like, I just want to be clear what you're asking. Saying AI is useless because it can't do math is like saying people who can't code are useless because they can't code, which is a bad argument. I didn't say it was useless. When did I say it was useless? I'm saying it literally can't do math right now. So I'm not impressed by it. I don't think it's taking anyone's jobs. Like, it's not taking cybersecurity jobs when it can't do basic math. I didn't say it was useless. It's very useful. I've been using it for ages. I use it to create AI music. It's fun. But it's not intelligence. And in cybersecurity, a lot of the jobs in cybersecurity require intelligence. They require you to look at shit. All right? But I've never said it's useless. Just don't call it AI. It's not AI. It never has been. They've co-opted the term AI. AI used to actually mean something. All right? AI used to mean, you know, actual intelligence, where you could get something, basically a computer that had pretty much sentience. Right? That's what AI used to be. And, you know, we kept saying, you know, we think AI is like 20 years off, 30 years off, 40 years off. And I don't know, they've co-opted the term because AI is a cool term to use. But don't pretend it's AI. It's not. Define intelligence? That's what I'm saying. AI is sentience. And that's the thing. We have to have something to aim for. All right? AI for years meant sentience. And it should still mean sentience. There's no reason to call ChatGPT AI. It's not. It's a large language model. It already has a name. Call it machine learning. Machine learning's fine. Machine learning has never meant sentience either. LLM, machine learning, call it these. Don't call it AI. And I even call it AI sometimes just because it's easy. It's easy to say. But, you know, I prefer people not. Because it just isn't. So I don't see it taking any cybersecurity jobs anytime soon, to be honest with you. I see it being a really useful tool for assisting. But at the same time, a lot of the things that it produces that aren't creative, right? So if you actually want it to do factual stuff, you almost have to double check every single time. And at that point, it's kind of just silly. Because if you're relying on it to do factual things, and you can't even rely on it being factual all the time, then you've kind of just replaced the original research that you do with double checking someone else's work. That's my major issue. What's the approach towards the login page? What do I look for first? So, okay, a follow-up question. I'll ask this. So, do you have a login? So, if you have a login, obviously the things you can test with a login page, SQL injection comes to mind. All right, so you can try a login bypass attack. All right. What you can also do, and this is important if you do have a login, what's incredibly important to do is testing whether you can lock out your account. Okay? And sometimes if you lock out your account, that means you can, generally speaking, enumerate usernames. You can enumerate valid usernames via an account lockout policy. Or you can enumerate usernames potentially just by typing in the wrong username, right? Like a username that doesn't exist, and a password that obviously doesn't exist. Pressing login, seeing what the error message says, and comparing it to when you type in a real username and an invalid password. That way, you can enumerate you can enumerate valid usernames. Right, that's a good way of doing it. But yeah. So there are a few things you can do. Obviously, if there isn't a logout policy, then you can try brute force it. Right? But it all depends on what the scenarios are. Generally speaking, with login, you're either looking for username enumeration, or you're looking for a bypass of some kind. Let's make peace. We were never at war. It's fine to have disagreements online. This is the thing. As long as you respect people who you disagree with, there's literally nothing wrong with having disagreements. You might think it's AI. You might think I'm wrong. It's fine. I don't mind if you think I'm wrong. I personally think I'm right. But it doesn't matter. I don't respect you any less because you disagree with me. Is it going to help hackers like evil ones? Maybe. But that's the thing. Any tool can be used for good or evil, usually. So it's no different. Like people complain that Metasploit, like a lot of people back when Metasploit was originally released, would complain that Metasploit was going to help hackers, like evil hackers. And certainly it probably does. But that doesn't mean it's not a useful tool for everybody on the good side as well. People at my work love to call every automation program a bot or AI. It's funny when you look at it and it's just, it feels... Yeah, exactly. Like, that's kind of just crazy. Yeah, automation is not AI.
New subscription received.
Automation isn't even
Dispensing
really
gratitude.
machine learning at all.
Gratitude dispensed.
Like, there's a difference. Automation is
Happy Monday.
not any kind of, like, learning. Is that going to increase cybersec workloads due to more sophisticated attackers? I'm not sure if you call it more sophisticated. It might create more. It might open up attacks more, I guess. But at the same time, I think the counterpoint there is you can definitely use some AI, or use some AI, right? Use some machine learning in the counter, well, the blue teaming as well. So I think it works both ways. That's the thing. You'll have more sophisticated attackers, but you also have more sophisticated defenders. If it can't do basic math, then it's not smart enough to know if a nuclear launch is real, so it will trigger a response with a real nuclear launch. Are we talking war games now? War games was good. Now the computer in war games was I'd hesitate to say sentient, but it was kind of almost sentient. It wasn't really a LLM, but it was definitely machine learning, and it was far more advanced for whatever at the time. Yeah, Whopper, that was it. Or if you really watch that movie, it's obviously Joshua. It can do math. The current tokenizers will be replaced by future tokenizers, which will have better math skill. I think we'll see an improvement. Yeah, I'm sure. The issue is. I disagree with the fact that I no longer see the chat on the screen. Okay. I don't know. Oh, because it's not scrolling up high enough? Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's machine learning, so it is learning. The issue, what's going to be interesting though, is when ultimately there's going to be a point where it's going to be difficult to detect whether the training materials you're giving the LLM have been produced by a human or not. This is a point that Casey from Inside a PhD brought to my attention. Like, there's going to be a point where the LLMs are going to be trained on stuff that LLMs have produced. And if you've ever done any kind of like courses or education on machine learning, you know that's basically bad, because it's a feedback loop that only gets worse. You cannot train, let's just call it AI for simplicity's sake. You cannot train AI on AI generated stuff. It doesn't get better that way. Interviewer asked me this question last week. That's one. So yeah, it's an open-ended question. So I mean, that's the thing. You could. I would obviously say, yeah, the username enumeration is a big one. If we're just talking about the login process, like, you could technically go beyond that and talk about potentially, attacking the actual session tokens. But I feel like that's beyond the login thing. I think if you're looking at a login, then the ones that spring to mind, obviously, the username enumeration and also login bypasses. All right, and there's various different ways you can do that. All right, so those are the two big ones, I would say. But honestly, the best thing to do, go to OWASP testing guide. OWASP web security testing guide is a really good resource. Nobody actually tests using it, but it's really useful if you just want to look up something. It's honestly too big. Authentication testing, here you go. So there are a few that I disagree with here, like this one. Like, I feel like this should just be a general, hey, are they using HTTPS check? Like, realistically, there's no difference between whether credentials are transported over HTTP and whether a session token is, because ultimately it's the same damn thing. All right, so I don't agree with this one. Default credentials, again, this really only applies in scenarios where there are default credentials. Often there aren't. Weak lockout mechanisms, what I told you before. Bypassing. So a lot of these are like, related to username enumeration and stuff. And yeah, weak password policy, not really a login. That's the thing. So a lot of these aren't really login stuff. They're sort of side channel attacks to login. But that's what I would go for. I would just go over this and read some of this. This is really useful. Like I say, you wouldn't go through this. Like the testing framework, I don't necessarily agree with, but there's a lot of information here on how to test different things. What song is playing right now? I think it may have... Probably an old song, but I don't know. Data rot, yes. They've already run out of data and are using synthetic data. Right, exactly, which is going to be awful. It's just going to degrade everything. You can't train AI on AI-generated data. That's just a false statement. No, I'm not saying that. You definitely can. I'm saying it's gonna degrade. It's not gonna actually generate anything good. It's not going to improve anything. That's the thing. The AI hasn't actually created anything new. LLMs don't actually create stuff new. They basically use data and modify it, right? But there's no actual creativity, and that's the issue. So yeah, of course you can train AI on AI generated data. My point is the model is going to be worse after it. It's not going to be better. So yeah, it's not that you can't do it, it's that it's stupid to do it. Because where's the actual good information come from? You can't create something out of nothing. And so you're basically, you haven't got anything new coming in. You're just repeating the same stuff, which is going to be a massive problem if they actually do start doing it. But again, it's not actually AI, so it's okay. If you actually get AI that is creative, if we actually figure out sentience, right? If we actually develop an AI that is self-aware and can actually come up with creative stuff. Evolution is a lie confirmed by Tibbs. Evolution is not a lie, but that's not what something from nothing means. Be back in 10 minutes, Doc Diesel. Appreciate you telling us. Yeah, I like the term data rot. That's good. All right, let's figure out. Let's see if there's anything new on TryHackMe. There probably isn't, but we'll see. And it's been a good discussion. Again, you got to remember, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of like ChatGPT. I'm a fan of Suno, which is the it's the what's it called? The song generating thing. I'm a fan of it. I just don't. I think it's. I know what it is, which is very fancy predictive text. AI doesn't create new false statement. Consider this: the likelihood of a new 5-letter sentence is 1 out of 5. Currently in the 50k range to 100k. The likelihood of regurgitating the same things verbatim is low. The new creations are called hallucinations, which is a feature and a bug. But that's the thing, it's not really creating new stuff. Like, those... That's just basic, like, statistics. They're, like, combinatoric. You could take... If you're saying I could literally get a dictionary and combine all possible... I could generate all 5 word sentences, right? I could generate 5 word sentences. I could generate all possible. We already know all possible technically. It's just combinatorics, right? It's combinations. Right? That's not really creating new data. The data's already there. If that makes sense. Millions of yes, it is millions of combinations. But that's the thing. You've got to also think about that data has to have meaning behind it, and that's the thing. It never does. Alright, hang on. Chat's scrolling too fast. Started learning cybersecurity for a few weeks. I'm doing TryHackMe. Started with junior pen testing. What's your advice for someone who's just started learning? Honestly, that's the right path. Dive into the CTF stuff. Basically just keep learning. Like, I'm not sure what age you are, or if you already have a job, or what you're looking to actually do. But learning is incredibly important. Did you create your theme song with AI? Yes. Can you tell me a little about DevOps security? No, not really. I don't do DevOps. Ask for portmanteaus, it can do it. The thing is, I don't think that's actually creating something new. It's not creativity in the same sense as human creativity, if that makes sense. You know? The moving goalpost? Maybe, but I mean, I think I've been clear from the start. Like, I don't think it's AI. I don't think it's intelligent. I think it's very, like I said, very fancy predictive text. I don't think I'm particularly moving the goalposts here. I might not be explaining my position very well, but I didn't expect to get into an AI debate either. I'm just saying it's not the same as sentience, right? It's not the same as like creativity. Because ultimately, like, if you just give me a dictionary, right, of all the English words, I could write a program. I could write a Python script, and it would be a very, very short Python script, actually, that just spat out every single possible 5-word sentence. All right, it could do it. It might take a while to run. It might take centuries or millennia to run, but it could do it. Now, is that Python script creative? No. Maybe it's better to say there's no creative inspiration. Inspiration might be better. There's no inspiration. All right? Because obviously the infinite monkey, someone mentioned the infinite number of monkeys, right? So yeah, technically if you had an infinite number of monkeys, they could write the entire works of Shakespeare. But was that inspired? No, it's just a fact of statistics. Does that mean that Shakespeare isn't beautifully written? No. I think it's more the fact that it was inspired. So there's no actual inspiration. ChatGPT can also write those 5 for loops. Does that require cognition, intelligence? No, it doesn't. Because literally, though that kind of stuff has been done before, and ChatGPT has access to Stack Overflow, and so it's not that difficult to pull that information out of Stack Overflow. So there we go. Maybe I don't think I necessarily moved the goalpost. I think I've adapted my reasoning, which was, okay, maybe creation isn't the best word. Maybe inspiration is. Right? Does ChatGPT create stuff? Certainly it creates stuff. I don't think it's creative, if that makes sense. No, it's good. I enjoy the conversation. I think it's an interesting point that you're raising. I think I wasn't bad. I probably, if I'd thought about it for more than 10 seconds before responding, I wouldn't have butchered my initial argument as much. But I think it's a better argument to say it's not inspired, right? And I think creativity and creation are different. Like, creativity is inspired. Like, there's genuine inspiration there. But arguably, like, okay, here's another thing, right? If you have a program that just counts, so it starts off with the number 0, right? So it starts off with the number 0, takes that number, converts it to a byte, and writes that byte to a file. And then it adds 1, and it does the same thing. So it creates a new file with every single number from 0 to infinity, right? So it takes the numbers, converts to bytes, and puts it in a file. Now, technically, that would create every single possible file ever, right? It would create the binary for Firefox at some point, right? Because ultimately you could take the binary, the executable of Firefox, and convert it into bytes. Well, it's already bytes, right? But you could take the bytes that make up that file and convert that into a singular number. It's a very, very, very long number, but it is just a number. All right, this is the concept of illegal numbers as well. It's fascinating. Illegal numbers. So there are numbers that are illegal. What does that mean? It means that if there is some kind of document, if there's a classified PDF, right? You have a PDF that is classified, right? So if I possessed it, because I don't have security clearance, right? If I possess that file, I'm breaking the law. Yeah? If that's just a number. That PDF is literally can be represented as an integer. So that is an illegal integer. It is not legal to possess that integer without breaking the law. Without security clearance, I should say. Anyway, we should probably... this entire stream is going to be just talking about AI now. Oh, here we go. We've got a new room. Include. Let's do this one. Screw it. Anarchist Cookbook. The Anarchist Cookbook actually isn't illegal. You can actually own the Anarchist Cookbook. Funny conversation to listen to. Well, I appreciate that, but I think we should probably do some hacking. Thank you, Loxness. I start on Thursday. Alright, we have this box include. Oh, I was doing this earlier, wasn't I? Nope, don't want to do that. Let's do OpenVPN. Alright. Include, please. Let's... I imagine we probably have to add this to DNS mask. Oops. Address equals / dot include dot TryHackMe. And copy the result. Okay, so then... Did I get a chance to try out Hack the Box Academy? I did not yet. I will, though, at some point. I haven't had many people to tell. I remember asking for advice from you before taking the exam. Well, I passed my CISSP a few weeks ago. Well done! Congratulations. I doubt I will ever do the CISSP, but it's still a good... I mean, it'll probably take you far. Okay. I imagine there's going to be a web server in here. Well, apparently not. Unless it's one of these. Interesting. Port 4000. Maybe that's the That is the web server. Hooray! Sign in using guest. Okay, I will do. The heck? I didn't like that, did it? There we go. Alright, let's see. What do we have for a cookie? We have, okay, one of these. So this is probably not going to be hackable in this format anyway. Is this a custom app? This might be a custom app. It's on Express, so it's probably using Node.js. Interesting. Alright. Let's go back to this. Can I view my profile? Interesting. Okay, so there's a script that gets the query parameter user input. Oh, wait, we just do... Um... Okay, what's this user input container thing? Let's have a look at this, shall we? Oh, there isn't one. Interesting. Let's just see what happens when we recommend activities. Okay. So yeah, the question... So obviously this submits a string. So the question is, can we send this to repeater and then maybe change this to a JSON object? We probably can. Because this is probably no, which means it's probably gonna... Okay, so already added that. Let's just do test 2 now.
Thank you for following.
Alright, so the obvious thing to do is set is admin to false. To true, sorry. But specifically, we need to set it to the actual true value here, like this. There we go. What's the name of that bug? There we go. Mass assignment. Well done, homebrew. Is admin true might have worked if we... I mean, let's see if it would have worked, I guess. Sometimes that does not like that. Can we do is admin true like this? It might work, but... It does still work, okay. So you'll see this is a string, technically speaking, and it still gives us access to all of this stuff. But realistically, this is probably a better way because we get that Boolean value instead. Alright. So you'll note it doesn't have quotes around it anymore. Okay, we've got settings. Below is a list of important APIs accessible to admins. So obviously this is an internal API. So the question is, can we just access stuff through this, I guess? So can we just do /seed password? Failed to update banner image. Alright. What happens if we just go to include... So we try... port 4000. Okay, 127001 5000. Failed to update banner image. Let's just try this. Okay, that worked. Lovely, alright. So I guess it does technically work, but you need to actually hit something that returns a 200 OK, I imagine. So here's some base 64, we can just decode this. And we get some of this lovely data. Okay. So if we use this, refresh the settings. This is just SSRF. Do this again. Go to Hackverter. Paste that in here. There we go. So, review app username is admin, review app password is this. So the Sysmon app username, I'm guessing it's this. Okay, port 50,000 is probably the Sysmon then. Yep. So administrator with the password this. Boom. All right, there we go. So far, been very, very, very simple. Oops. Is there anything in here that we can look? Yes, here we go. Profile image. Let's see if we can grab password. We can't? Okay, so it said profile.png. So what happens if we just do a regular // Let's just // all the way up as far as we go, and then just Etsy password. Doesn't do that. What we can do is just... Oops. We might need a specific number. There's actually... Yeah. Hey, what we'll do, we'll send this to... Let's actually see if we can do basic stuff like /. Okay, so // does work. // also works, which means it might be stripping out the // So it looks like it's stripping out that, but what happens if we do this? It is still doing that as well. What happens if we just... Can we just do maybe... Okay. Double encode it. Okay, double encoding might work, but it also might not. Let's just try // again. Yeah. I wonder if PHP filters works. PHP filter syntax. Come on. What's it called again? It's not like, I mean, it is filter, but it's not a P. These are different. Filter
Thank you
functions
for
are different
following.
than that. It's a PHP scheme, right? PHP scheme. Here we go. Okay, so what we can do is put in PHP filter and then resource equals profile.png. Which doesn't work either. Let's have a look at some of the results we get. Aha, everything's in uploads, look. So we can actually double check, because we can probably do this, look. And yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that means potentially we can upload. We have this API. Try RFI? I did not. That is a good point. Let's just do... yeah. 8,000. Right. 10, 13, 53, 212, 8,000. No. Did not work. Double check the IP address, 1013. Oh, yeah, 53, 212. Yeah, it was that. Alright. That does not work.
Thank you
We
for
could
following.
potentially try index.php. Well, we'd have to go dot dot slash, but again, probably can't do dot dot slash. I wonder if we can do dot dot slash like this. No. There are a few things we could try with the dot dot slashes, but I imagine we have to try and upload something. And I wonder if there was something here we were supposed to do. Why has it got SMTP on it? Like, it has email for some reason. But why? That's weird. Yeah, we could trade data. There's so much stuff we could do here. So, if we look at the data URI, because data URI is kind of weird, you have to be very specific. We don't want base 64. No. Oh, wait, hang on. I don't want content slash type either. I want data text plain. No. Can you change the profile picture via the API? I don't know. So the API... here's the thing. This isn't actually... Well, then this is uploading anything. This is just specifying a directory here. It's specifying a file path. So I don't think you can actually upload an image using this. This is a different app as well. What? Okay. Yeah, this is odd. No, well, we already got this flag. Hidden text file. So, I mean, PHP shells, it sort of highlights we probably need a PHP shell. Question is, so we have this API.php thing, which is interesting. Auth.php, did we use auth.php to log in? Initially, I think we did. No, we just used login.php. Okay. Upload? I didn't think there was an upload. Oh, there's an uploads directory? We could potentially. It would be very weird if this was the case. But I guess it's worth a shot. What we could potentially do here is do a put request. Actually, you know what we could do firstly is see if it even supports that. Options. Doesn't support a put request, but we could try it anyway. Text. Method not allowed. If we put a post in here, will it work? Or if we're not found, no. We can't just do a post request. Alright. So what's interesting is So here's this is the thing. Obviously it can't be stripping out. It probably isn't stripping out periods because there's a period there and it needs that. So is it going to strip out backslashes? Yeah. No, it doesn't. Okay. Damn. I think it's percentage 2E, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, can we just double encode this? Find a way to do a post request to API? Yeah, I mean, we could. Oh, it's not that one. 2 secs. Alright, let's just do a GET request
Thank you for following.
to API. That gives an internal server. What happens if I take the cookies out?
Prime.
Thank you for Prime sub. There'll be a PHP SES ID there. Just getting internal server errors, which is interesting. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. We could so much crap we could do here. I guess we'll use param miner. Although I doubt it's something like this, but I mean it might be. Who knows? What are we poking at today? We're poking at include by TryHackMe. So I want to go param miner. We're gonna guess get parameters first. We'll let that run. Still very strange though. We can still look for stuff, I guess. It's very strange that we've got... I guess I could try logging in.
Thank you for following.
We probably should try logging in. I doubt any of these, you know, we'll try logging in with the admin password, I guess. Admin at include.dem. Yes, and paste. And then try administrator. It's not. I guess we could try emails because these are email addresses. So Right, we have to install an email client. Sudo apt search Thunderbird. I guess not. What was the super secret key? I don't know. We haven't figured that out yet. I don't know. Let's try the email. I guess we have to try the email, really. Because even if we have this super secret key, we don't know where to use it. It could be. It could need a header. What we will do though, while we're here, we'll send this to param minor guess headers. We tried the PHP scheme
Thank you for following.
already. Oh, wheel spin from agent. I completely forgot about the wheel spin. Let's do the wheel spin. That is 100% my bad. I don't know if you're still here, Agent 57. Doesn't matter either way. It's just 2 times next spin.
Rubius 37 just redeemed wheel spin.
Oh, well, there we go. Rubius gets 2 times this spin. Ooh. 2 times a Rubik's Cube solved. There we go. Alright. Do the Rubik's Cube. Alright. Rubik's Cube with one side that, well, actually, the yellow doesn't really... The yellow kind of gets hidden as well, but... Awesome see-through Rubik's Cube here. Look, very cool. Alright. I will close my eyes. Oh, why I'm closing my eyes and looking away. I'll look away and close my eyes so you guys know I can't definitely be cheating. Anyway, I'm just gonna randomly scramble it. I'm not... I honestly do not know what I've done to this cube right now. I'm just randomly moving it. I'm not that clever. I can't memorize everything I've done anyway. Alright. Let's go. Alright, so let's solve this thing. That's the bottom solved. Wait, go. Okay, and now we just got to do the top. Cool. All right. And so. Yes, I just did it. Sorry. So you landed on 2 times, and then a Rubius redeemed wheel spin, which meant that, and he landed on a Rubik's Cube solve. So we get 2 Rubik's Cube solved. So that's the first one. Now I'll close my eyes, look away again. We'll scramble it.
Incoming raid.
Oh, well, I'll check on the raid in a minute. Scrambling a Rubik's Cube. Alright, I think we're good. Dixie42, thank you for raiding. How was your stream? Alright, we're going to solve this damn Rubik's Cube now. Whoops. And done. Right. There we go. Alright. Solved it. Again. Alright, let's see what we can do with this then. Windows Prevest 20 room on TryHackMe. Nice! Which method do you use? I don't know. It's some method. I don't know the name of it. It's very basic algorithms. All right. Okay, we've extracted, so now we need to go into the directory. Did I just run Thunderbird? Hooray! Okay. So, we have a couple of things we can do here. We can try admin. At include.tryhackme with password. Okay. Let's do that. We're going to confirm the security exceptions. Still checking password. Try open. Well, yeah. So the only weird thing about this box is that there were these, like, there were 2 HTTP servers, which are fine, but then we have all these email clients. Actually, one thing I guess I should have checked. There isn't an email here. We should probably try and log in, right, as the admin user as well on here. Let's try logging in as the admin user on here as well. Maybe they have incorrect username and password. Really? That should have been it. Okay. Guessed, I guess it is. I guess ID 1 means it is the only account here. Link to an image. We try that for what though? These are all hosted on different sites. That's the thing. This image is hosted on a completely different web server. Unable to log in. So what we can try is administrator with this password now. And try and do this. Also, we need to check. Okay, we didn't get anything else for the API. Yeah. Yeah. So we just got 500s. Shit, Wolfie wants me to say, "You what, mate?" There you go. Yeah. Okay, so that doesn't work either. All right, we can, I guess, look at the. No
Thank you for
subdomains
following.
there. These aren't actually valid subdomains there either. We didn't. I guess one thing we didn't try was the sign up, because we were given a user account, but aha, that's interesting. Nice error message, but unfortunately useless. Oh, I guess. I see what people mean now. Can we just literally. No, see it's the image. Right, so I think what people were saying is, can I just do profile image images / prof2.pdiff or something? And I can, but the issue is when I view the source of the page, it's not actually loading it. It's just changing the source here, so it's not actually doing anything off-site. So yeah, that was a good suggestion. We could probably we'd probably do something stupid like this. Yeah. So we can probably get XSS, but it's not really going to do anything. Like we could definitely do something like probably script alert 1. Maybe not. Okay, no, it's encoding everything anyway. Alright, never mind. I don't know what the albums is. Yeah, that's... What we could do is... Oh, we're not logged in? I don't know why it keeps doing this. Come on. Thing is, there's no indication of where the albums are, or if the albums are even anything in particular. There's no actual links. I'll be right back. LFI payload. We already found the LFI. We can fuzz it more, but like we can't do directory traversal apparently. That might just be it. It might just be a weird directory traversal, but I'll be right back and we will fuzz some more. All right. Can you upload on one web app and include another? Potentially, but like, there was something when you were admin. What was there when I was admin? Like, we've got. So, hang. We've got this, but we can't actually. This just does SSRF. And we use this SSRF to contact the API. But that was it. This had a super secret key, but I don't know what this does. I guess possibly because we know the Ubuntu is... We know the user is Ubuntu, so maybe it's... I guess we could try just Ubuntu. And then use this as the key. Try root. No. What did you see when I was admin, Bonzo? We know that this server's running as Ubuntu. We have an uploads directory. I can't see any way to upload it though. That's the problem. We don't have an upload.php. Use this payload. I believe we tried something like that though. So what we will do, just make sure this works still. Let's go to configuration library. Do I have... Yeah, I'm just going to duplicate this. LFI. Let's put inclusion actually. What we can do is file. Yeah, there we go. File, path, manipulation, etc. Do that. Let's send this to intruder. Add some shit there. Scan these. Scan. File inclusion. Okay. And basically, it's just gonna go off and try a bunch of shit. The other thing, the dot, so how many dots is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, //. So basically, if we do, yeah, this, Yeah, so that doesn't work. This just doesn't work. Because we know we know the profile.png is in the uploads directory. If this was supposed to work, it should work like this. New to web application security? Yeah, Portswigger Web Academy is great. Aha! There we go. We've got this. All right, we just had to URL encode it. Here we go. That's why I love this extension. All right, we Burp Suite figured it out. So effectively, what's it doing? Oh, oh, that's clever. Okay, yeah, this is clever. So actually, we can, if we do profile.png, what it's doing is, we know it's looking for dot slashes. So I think if we, yes, that doesn't work. But if you move it back one, I think it does. No, hang on. It's got 3 and then... Interesting. This is directory traversal. Oh, is it just upload? No, it is uploads, right? It is uploads, yeah. Either way, we got file path traversal. I'm just a bit confused about how it's working. Because presumably, if we put uploads in here, then technically this should just work, but it doesn't. Well, no, we know where it's stored because it's here, profile.png, see? I don't know. Either way, I'm not entirely sure. We'll figure this out. But anyway, we've got this. Look. So what it was looking for, we've got some users now. We've got Ubuntu, TryHackMe, Joshua, and Charles. So what we can try and do is go. Well, actually, let me list the users. We got Ubuntu, TryHackMe, Joshua, and Charles. Alright, what we can do now is try and do, well, we can figure out how many of these we actually need. So that still works. That doesn't. Okay, so we do need that many. We can try home Ubuntu SSH ID RSA. And Charles. Okay. We could also try var www HTML index.php. Although that's, yeah, that's going to render it. So it is actually rendering it nicely. Trying getting var log apache2 access.log, although this, generally speaking, doesn't work. Yeah. The mail log, yeah, that's a good thing. Mail.log. There we go. All right, so Jesus. All right. So this is me trying to log in, right? Yeah. So I can just do this again. Can I... Is it? It's not going to use the password, is it? I wonder if I can just use a P... Oh, what's this saying? Maybe we've got to just use regular, like, telnet. Because we could potentially use the POP3. Or using just SMTP. 110, okay. Okay, so we use user Tiberius. Okay, now let's request this again. Okay, nothing. Plain text authentication is disallowed. Okay, so hang on a minute. So we can use POP3 on 995. Okay. What we want to do is open SSL, s_client, connect, include.thm, 995. There we go. Alright, let's try this. There we go. Now can we just use password or something? Authentication failed. Do we get another hit now? No. What happens if I just disconnect? If I disconnect? Yeah, okay. So this was me. So now what we can do is I can hopefully just do user system get 0. Actually, no, hang on. Yeah. Okay, hopefully this means if I now append 0 equals ID, hey! Woo!
We are
It's
in.
Node. This isn't Node. This is PHP. The initial app was Node. All right, so that's why there was a freaking login. All right. Let's do rev shell gen. We'll use this. Use URL encode. I can just do that here. Okay, NC. There we go. Oh, I need to do which bash. Cool. All right. What's the command? So all this did, right? This command up here. This is just how you log in to POP3. So all we're doing is ignore this. This is just SSL. So I tried connecting originally over over the non-SSL. Now technically, I think this would have worked, because even though the plain text authentication was disallowed, my username still ends up in the logs. But this was just how you connect over OpenSSL, so actually using SSL. And now what you can do is you basically just type user and then the username, password. Authentication failed, but that doesn't matter. It still gave a log, right? Okay, so there should be, yeah, here we go. We can actually just cat this file. This was the hidden file. Now, I don't think there's any privilege escalation in this. I don't understand why... Like, I don't know why we've been given other users. That's the weird thing. Like, what's in these? What's in this user? What's in Charles? Anything? Dash LA. Nothing in Charles. So Joshua has a mail directory. Oh, but I can't read it. TryHackMe has nothing. And Ubuntu has all this stuff. I mean, there's no admin flag. Like, these are the only two. This was a good box, though. I imagine we're not even supposed to be able to. Get it. But yeah, finding this initial thing. Oh, that's what I want to do. I want to see what the hell they're doing with the profile.php. Oops. LSD can be installed. You don't want to never install LSD. What the hell does API.php do? Quiet offs? It's just a. This is such a weird thing that we didn't even need this, you know? Ah, that's weird. Okay, so it's doing a string replace ... with nothing. So that we figured out. Then this. Preg replace. Okay, preg replace is basically regex, but I don't know what the final number is. Hang on. So we've got 4 parameters. So then preg replace limit. Oh, the maximum possible. Okay, so right. So I think string replace only just one thing. Let me see if we can get PHP shell and do that. So if we have let's just say we have that, right? And let's just echo string. Okay, if we do str replace ... with nothing. Right, we get that. So that will go through and remove every single instance of that. So the idea is, if you then, what you can do is we can technically do this, right? So we can bypass this string replace very easily. Okay, because string replace is not recursive. However, preg replace, I believe, is. Preg replace, because it's regex, we need to do this. Okay, no, preg replace is not. Okay, so preg replace isn't even. Oh, right, it's doing. Yeah. Hang on then. So if we do this, and then we want to do echo this, but then in here, what we need to do is string replace. dot dot slash, and then nothing, and then string. Yeah. So is it literally we just need a ridiculous amount of these? Is that it? Yeah. Oh my god, that's why it was so weird. It's not actually, we're not actually bypassing it. It's just there's a limit on how many you can do. And that's why this wasn't working when I did. It makes so much more sense. So, for example, when I was trying to do the stupid like dot dot slash uploads profile.png, right? You gonna work? Why is it not working now? I didn't kill the box. The box should still be up, right? Yeah. What the heck? Come on. Do I have to kill my session? Maybe I have to kill my session. Oh. Well, this has just died on me. I don't know. Box is still up. Okay, hang on, let's just curl this, I guess. Can we go to... let's go to... Alright, it's working there. For some reason, it's just not working in... Alright. Okay, we can log in here, look. I don't know why it's, for some reason, not working. Like this. Wrong password. Alright. Here we go. Alright, so let's just send this to pizza and this. Alright, good. So yeah, this should have worked. And it was weird that it wasn't working. But this wasn't this. So what I assumed was happening was the dot dot slash was being removed, making another dot dot slash, and that was the bypass. That wasn't the bypass. I mean, technically it kind of was. What we need to do is actually just add a bunch more of these until it works. So actually, I think we need to add... Hang on. We need to add 6, right? So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So what happens is... the code firstly removes every single instance of a dot dot slash. Okay? But it goes through in order. So it's going to do that one. And then it finds this one. And then it finds this one. And then it finds this one. This is just the string replace. And then it finds this one. And that's it. It stops there for string replace. Then it does preg replace, right? Which is the same thing. Right? So preg replace works the same way as string replace. Only it has this limit. And they set the limit to 5. And the limit 5 basically means only do this replace 5 times. So with string replace, it did the replace until it reached the end. Now what it's going to do, drag replace, is going to find this one, delete it, which is 1. Find this one, delete it, which is 2. Find this one, that's 3. That's 4. That's 5. And you end up with the exact string we wanted. Okay. So we were doing it correctly. It was just, this is not normal, doing this 5. This is probably what trips a lot of people up. This isn't normal. This is so rare. Yeah, not real. Not very real at all. You wouldn't do this. I imagine that's to trip the thing up. So it didn't, the reason it didn't trip Burp up, Burp found this. So Burp, this is a standard Burp payload. All it does is it basically just keeps adding this kind of, it just keeps adding it until it either, you know, it has a limit, like it might go up to like 10 or something, but it keeps adding it with Etsy password until it either reaches the limit until it gets something. So Burp basically knows that this is a valid way of getting around the string replace kind of thing, and it just kept trying it until it figured out, oh, actually I need this many. So ordinarily, what this would mean in a regular web application, what this string technically means here, if we remove all the dot dot slashes, the initial dot dot slashes, in a real web application, what this would mean is that we are in a directory structure right? So we're in directory structure this many deep. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're in a from the root directory, we're like 10 directories deep. So like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, right? So like we're here. Yeah. So imagine this is the directory structure. We're 10 directories deep, which means when we apply our code here, basically this cancels out, 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 that cancels out, that cancels out, this cancels out, this cancels out, and this cancels out. And now we have Etsy password, which is exactly what we wanted. How did I get Burp to do that? This is Burp Pro, so I cheated, and we used the configuration library. I just created a file inclusion scanner, which literally all it does. Well, I didn't even need to do this, but I told it, hey, can we scan for file path traversal and file path manipulation, please? And it went off, and we can actually see what it did here. Look, this is why people don't use the Burp scanner. Are just silly. Use the Burp scanner. So basically, what it does, well, the first thing it does here is it sends the base payload, which is just profile.png. It does it twice, so it says, okay, is there any difference? No, there's no difference. Then it tries a bunch of things. It tries loading the OASTify. And then it basically just goes off and tries all these payloads. So you can see all these payloads, right? It's just trying to... It doesn't know what system we're on. So it's trying, like, Windows payloads. It's trying... tries all the Windows ones first, actually. Then it tries Etsy password. So it tries it with just a standard payload. Tries just a regular stuff like that. And then it finds this one. This is the one it found originally. But it also found a few others, I think. So these it found, it could actually do directory traversal like this. What else did it find? Yeah, so it found, I think this is it double checking this one. Yeah, it just found a bunch. So this one works. This one works. It also... oh, no, this is me. Okay, cool. Yeah, so... awesome. Are these listed somewhere to read? No. But you can literally just, I mean, if you have a copy of Burp Suite Pro, you can literally just, like, send all these requests and then just copy them out. I think, actually, Seclist's house. You search burp in Seclists. Go to code. Oh, we need to sign in. Hang on. No, okay, it doesn't. BuzzDB might. I do have Seclist on the machine, but like, it's easier to search for the word burp in GitHub than it is to try and find it in the Seclist repo, because I don't know what it was named. Anyway, any questions about that? But yeah, like, this the thing is, we would have found this without the scanner. We were just looking for. We got distracted. Oh, I got distracted by the email thing. But yeah, like, these are pretty common payloads. Like, you can go to payloads, all the things. And there'll be a bunch of them here we could try. So you go to file inclusion. It might even be in directory traversal, actually, to be fair. grep-r, but yeah, that's going to search the contents of files. I don't want the contents, I want the name. We could use find as well, but like, I didn't know it was going to be uppercase, lowercase. It's just easier. GitHub's right there. Like, I knew it was in the GitHub. So yeah, we've literally just gone down these and tried a bunch of them. Yeah, if you have access to the Burp Active Scanner, I mean, it's a no-brainer to use it. It's really good. It's one of the reasons we pay for Burp Suite, right? Just if you just look at all the individual issues you can enable. Like, and all of these are basically categories. So there are a number of different payloads in each of these. On where to learn about log exploits? What, you mean like log4j, or you mean something else? This is kind of a log exploit. It's weird. So this realistically isn't a log exploit. This is the real exploit here is that we could include the file. And in PHP, if you include a file, it gets executed. So it wasn't really a log exploit. It was the fact that the log, I mean, it was in the sense that the log was accessible and we could write to it. So generally speaking, if you know that you can write to a log and you can access that log like this, then yeah, you can exploit. You can basically write. So the standard, I mean, this is unrealistic. Let's just be clear. This is entirely unrealistic. Because generally speaking, you can't, like, the web server user cannot access var log. All right. So like I'm glad they didn't do the standard trick of using Apache. Okay, because even though this is an Apache server, counterintuitively, if you run a PHP program on an Apache server, even though the Apache server is writing to the access log in var log Apache 2, right? The PHP process cannot access that. All right? So, generally speaking, in var log, right? Let's have a look in var log on my machine. So, you'll notice in var log, it's owned by root, right? And if we do an L... So, most of these files are not writable by any other user than root, okay? Some of them are writable by certain groups, all right? Like, for example, the UTMP group can write to this file, okay? In most cases, however, unless you have a file that's owned by a specific user here, right? Most of these files are just owned by root, and root's the only user that can access them. And that's true of the Apache 2 directory, right? So the Apache 2 directory is right. So actually, if we cd into, actually, if we do ld/Apache 2, so look at all these files. These are all the log files. Access.log is the main log for accessing, so it writes all the requests here. It's only writable by root. And you might think, okay, but Apache 2 is running as root, isn't it? Yes. Apache 2 is running as root, but PHP does not run as root. So what the Apache 2 process has to run as root because it listens on port 80. Okay? Apache 2 has to run as root because it has to bind to port 80. And if you want to bind to port 80, so if you want to bind to a port less than 1024, you need to be root. Okay? Now, technically, that's not necessarily true anymore because you can use capabilities now, I think. I'm pretty sure you can use capabilities. But still. In general, if you want to bind to a port that's less than 1024, you need to be root. Like, for example, if I was to try and do, and let's just try and run a reverse shell, right? NC. Let's try and run a reverse shell on 88. Okay. That shouldn't happen. Has NC got a capability now? Am I actually bound to port 1? This is interesting. Okay, now this is weird. Huh. Is NC just be better? Yeah, I was getting to that. So you sort of like I was distracted by the fact I can actually listen. This is weird. I imagine NC maybe has a capability. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But so obviously Apache running as root is bad, right? Apache, if it just ran as root, that's bad, because then if Apache gets compromised, you're instantly in a root process. So what Apache does is very clever. Okay, so Apache starts as root and binds to port 80. Then it spawns child processes running as usually dub data. All right. 99.99999% of everything Apache 2 does is handled by data processes. Literally, all the root. So if I do ps, let's do ps-ef grep Apache. Can we do that? Yeah. Okay, so here we go. So Apache's running on my local machine. This is the root process. Okay, there are 5 child processes that are running as data. This process, when it starts, it binds to port 80. All this is doing is listening for requests. Okay? That's all it does. It listens for requests on port 80 or port 443, whatever port. All it does is that. Then, when it receives a request, okay, so you send an HTTP request, it's listening out. So when it receives a request, it immediately just passes it off to one of these. Immediately. So all this process is doing is it's just listening on a port and passing the packets that are sent to that port off to child processes. And that's why it's okay to run Apache as root. Because 99.9999% of the time, if you're going to compromise an Apache server, it's not going to be in this process, it's going to be in one of these. And that's okay. Because these are running as the data. I mean, it's not okay, right? But it's better than compromising root directly. It's very, very difficult to get a root shell from an Apache server. In fact, you can. It's and I tried this because I was going to try and do a I tried to make this a CTF once, but basically, if you try and tell Apache you want to run everything as root, it doesn't let you. There is hard-coded checks in the Apache 2 binary to prevent you running anything as any of these sub-processes as root. It's like, nope, not going to do it. Yeah. This is actually a really clever idea. This is really secure. But now I'm interested in ls-l. So is there a... How'd you use get cap again on process? Alright, let's just run NC, I guess. No, that's not good. Yeah, here we go. So, get caps. Aha, it's probably this then. Cap net bind service. Here we go. Kali is known to allow... Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Alright, but here's what you would do generally, look. So there is a capability. I tell you what we could do then. Maybe we can try it on this box. So let's do this again. Did the box die? No. this is stupid. Alright, I'm gonna try this. This request was working, so let's do this one. There we go. Okay, we'll do it correctly. Okay, good. So now if we do Control C, we should be fine. All right, now if we do, so we do which NC? Hopefully NC is installed. It is. So now if I do NVLP 1, there we go. This is what you should do. This is what it should. So if we try 1024, it listens on 1024. If we try 1023, permission denied. This is what I was expecting Callie to do. I don't know why Callie doesn't do that. That's kind of stupid. But here you go, look. So, this is a regular user. They can listen on port 1024. They can listen on ports all the way up to 65,000, whatever it is, right? But if you try and listen on a port below 1024, permission denied. All right. Any other questions? Raz, I think you have the wrong person. I'm not Ryan. All right. Any other questions before we go? Let's find somebody who is streaming. I am the only person on InfoSec stream, which means we have to go across the Twitch. Kitty Burrito is streaming. We'll probably raid Kitty. Any questions before we go? This is a good box. I enjoyed this box. Let's give it an upvote. Upvote it. All right. Awesome. Like I said, please go and let me go to my Twitter again. Please go fill in the feud thing if you want to help me out. Here it is. Alright, go to my Twitter. It's a pinned tweet. So it's at the top of my profile. If you want to help me out, if you're not going to Defcon 32, then you can definitely click the link and fill it out. That'd be really useful. If you are coming and you want to participate in feud, then obviously don't click the link. But if you're going to come watch feud, you absolutely know for sure you don't want to participate as a contestant, then you can definitely fill it out. It would really help. And obviously, if you could share it, if you could retweet it, that would be really helpful as well. Feud, yes, Feud is a game show. It's an official contest at Defcon this year. It's basically Family Feud, except cybersecurity themed. So technically cybersecurity / tech themed, and it's run by OnlyFeet, which is the hacking group that I'm a member of. That's why I have it on my profile. So it's only feet themed because only feet. All right. Only Feet are a legitimate hacking group. We do a lot of CTFs. We recently came 29th in the NahamCon CTF. We are a semi-serious CTF team. We just like having fun. But anyway, we're also a big group of friends. So, and we've run Feud for the past 2 years unofficially. This year we actually got approved as an official contest, which is hilarious. So we're trying to make it the best feud ever. There's going to be prizes and everything. It's going to be hilarious. If you are at Defcon, please come watch. The more people that show up, the more argument we have to do it again next year. Otherwise, this might be the only time. So, obviously it helps. The more people who submit survey responses, the better, because it's just going to be better in general. But yeah. Anyway, let's go raid Kitty Burrito. Kitty Burrito is not a tech streamer. She's a gamer. She's Canadian, but we forgive her for that because she lives in Italy. But we're gonna raid Kitty Burrito, and we're also gonna switch to my stream ending. Please go follow me on Twitter. Join my Discord server, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and obviously give me a follow on Twitch if you're not already following me on Twitch. Let's say a big hello to Kitty Burrito, and watch her game for a bit. Alright, thank you so much, everybody. I'll be back on Web Up Wednesday for Web Up Wednesday, and we'll do some fun Web Up stuff. But otherwise, if I don't see you on Wednesday, I hope you have a great rest of the week. Alright, let's raid Kitty.